Yo, what is good? What is good, Raider Nation, man? What is good with y'all, man? We done came back with a W. We done went home to another home game. We done left Vegas, went to LA, started running stuff in practice. Game day, we run it there too, man. After a shaky first half, man, we come back and we do what it do, man. We make it count, man. Let's go, bro. Let's go. I cannot wait until next week. I will be at that game against the Niners, man. I'm very, very excited for that one. But we this last game, it was filled with a lot. Like it was filled with a lot. Starting off, man. Starting off, it always, it always sucks when people get injured. But before we get into that, man, I gotta give a big shout out to everybody in the chat already. We already 10 deep. We haven't even been alive for 10 minutes. Shout out to Jesse. Shout out to Malo. Shout out to B Al. Was good, Jeff. Everybody in here. Shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate you guys. And the quality of the stream should be a little bit. It should be better right now. It should be better right now. What's up, Andy? Sunday afternoon. Shush. I'm just so happy we got that dub, man. We got that dub. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Um, but yeah, shout out to everybody in this chat. My boy Vital, Joseph was good with y'all. Man, we took that dub. Um, close game. I didn't think it'd be that close. After what we just did last week to the Seahawks, but credit to the Rams. They played us well. Um, in the first half, they played us well. I'm not gonna lie. Was good with you, Ricky. Was good. I don't know. Alexi was good with you. Raider Nation, but you were mad, disrespectful like a child. What happened? What I say? What I say was good. Was good with you, my boy Jesse. Was good, bro. But man, yesterday was a fun time. Shout out to Graf for having me on his show, the little watch party. Stu was there for a little bit as well, so shout out to him. But man, yesterday, very, 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 very entertaining to say the least, man. What I will start off with is that after the game, John Gruden did say that the only reason why Marcus Mariota didn't play is just that he wasn't fully healthy. He wasn't ready to go. But man, like it was a good game, man. Another one that came to a surprise. Apparently, Arnett wasn't healthy for the game, which that one sucks because like it looked like it just started to come back for him and that kind of stuff. But it is what it is, yo. But I'm just happy. Real quick with the whole you know Javin White situation, man. That really sucks. Not just like not even talking about football at this point. Like this man, he's done everything in his power, man, to be able to put himself and probably his family as well in a good situation to succeed, man. There's a guy who's Oakland native, went to college in Vegas, got signed by the Raiders last year, um, and really was looking promising, man. Like really looking promising. He looked comfortable after the year of the full switch to linebacker. He was making a lot of plays. He led our team in tackles against the Seahawks. And in this game, he had a couple pass breakups. A couple of them could have been picked off. Um, but man, I just feel bad for Javin. Thankfully, though, apparently we did get an update. He did end up going back on the sideline with the team after he was carted off. And usually, for people that tear their ACL, they don't go back onto the sideline whatsoever. They go straight to the hospital. They try and get their MRIs, and then they try to schedule their surgery as soon as possible. But so that could be a bright light to the situation. Javin White did come back to the sideline. He did end up watching the rest of the game on crutches and an ice pack on his knee. So best case scenario, he hyperextended his knee. Um, but I think even if he did just hyperextend his knee, I think that his injury looked bad enough to where he did tear a couple ligaments. It looked like probably. So if he just hyperextended it, it can take about as close as a month. He'll be back. If it was just a simple hyperextension, it can take about a month for him to come in. But if he hyperextended it and tore some ligaments, he'll be out for about like 6 to 8 months. So that one sucks with Javin White, man. It's always better if it was just a hyperextension over a ACL tear anyway. It doesn't take like a full year to recover. It does take a whole football season, but yeah, I mean, I hope he can come back strong, man. He was really looking promising out there, man. And like I said, it's not just football. Like, I know the Raiders just lost a good player in that, but you don't want to see any of your guys go down like that, man, ever. Aside to Kevin, he says, looking forward to seeing what Diablo's going to do out there. I agree. I cannot wait to see him. Hopefully, I can see him live when I go to the game next week. Raiders versus Niners. I cannot wait. That'll be a great game right there. That's gonna be a great game. Swin Raider says, yo, Andy, we still need to get 2 linebackers in, Colin, KJ, and Reuben Foster. I would love to bring in Reuben Foster as a middle linebacker. I love it. I love it. I love it. But let's see. When it comes down to KJ, I think now losing a player out for the season is what it looks like. I think that the KJ Wright is a must, regardless of what kind of money he needs. You know, regardless of what kind of money he's demanding. I mean, obviously you're not going to give him $10 million, but if his asking price is $5 million at this point, you just lost out a very solid looking player for the year. So I think that KJ Wright is the most definitely that needs to be a pickup like today. You want him to be with the team for at least a week and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think KJ Wright should definitely be, in talks with our team today. But I would love to bring in Reuben Foster, but he has a past that Mark Davis isn't too fond of, so I don't think that we'll give him a chance. I would love to, though. I love Reuben Foster's play, man. I really do. It's just another guy in this league that's been hit with that injury bug, man. But let's see. I mean, it is what it is. Let's see. Didn't get to watch the game, but game yesterday, but saw Hobbs stood out again. He most definitely did. His left leg looked about 2 inches longer. I didn't see that, and that's ooh. KJ Wright knows the system. This close to the season, it works. I agree. But I do got a couple talking points. Let me put this. Number one talking point I want to talk about, just because tomorrow is the deadline. As we all know, last week we had to go down from a 90-man roster to an 85-man roster, and we cut about 7 guys, and we brought in 2 more, activating Isaiah Johnson and Divine Diablo. And obviously, if we were to bring in a KJ Wright, you would probably have to cut 6 guys, but it's probably just going to be regular 5, just because Javin White, probably won't make the roster now. I mean, like I said, that really sucks. But yeah, man. I mean, I want to talk about the roster cuts real quick. 5 guys that I think just need to go. I mean, it's. I don't think anybody can disagree with me here. It's the 2 guys on the top of my head are 2 starting tackles that we had last night in the second half. Jared Jones-Smith absolutely played horrible, and Patrick Omame, 9-year veteran. I've never seen anybody play worse at the position in my life. I've never seen someone just get beat more than 50%. Like, I've never seen somebody get beat more than 50% of their reps, and Patrick Omame looked like he was getting beat like 80% of the time. I think Patrick Omame, Jared Jones-Smith, Dallin Levitt played horrible. He gave up a touchdown, and yes, he did have a decent play at the very end of the game, but it was kind of an overthrow. So those are 3 guys immediately. I think at this point you also have to look at a guy. I don't think Lawson. I see a lot of you guys saying Lawson. I would love for that to happen, but I think that Lawson is at the end when it's for the 53 men. Um, but the thing is, those three guys right there are probably undoubtedly they have to go. Those three guys played horrible. Like they played really bad. Um, Somebody who on the defensive line, who played well, but I don't think will make the roster is probably gonna be Kendall Vickers. He had a very, very good second half. The first half was shaky. He had a very good second half. I think that Kendall Vickers will make the roster. Probably like he'll get elevated on game day, so he'll be on the practice squad, but he'll be the one of the two guys that gets elevated on the game day. But I don't want to see him get cut now. Um, what Andy talk about how there's really only about 15 real cuts. What do you mean by that? But I think right now those three guys are two tackles, Jared Jones-Smith and Patrick Omameh need to go. And Dallin Levitt, those were the guys that stood out as horrible. Um, I mean, those guys had a bad game, to say the least, to say the very, very least. Now, two other guys, there'll probably be some practice squad guys. I mean, it'll probably be a defensive back. Honestly, we have a lot of defensive backs, but I really loved how Teamer played last night. That man showed some heart. And I really loved the way he played, man. I really loved the way he played. Um, but those three guys off the top of my head were the main guys that were doing really bad. Like they did terrible. Like those guys did terrible. Um, Oh, you're saying the practice squad? Yeah, I mean, 16 guys go to the practice squad, of course. Yeah, and then two are able to get elevated each week. So that's a plus. Um, but I think that right now, those three guys are, in my opinion, almost locks because Patrick Omameh got beat so bad to the point where he was putting our quarterback at risk of injury. Like that's how bad he was getting beat, and that can't happen. Like that can't happen. We just cut a quarterback last week, so yeah, that was tough. If you also want to look at some of our interior linemen, I just saw Nick Martin, his name brought up. I don't think he'll get cut. That man's a veteran, but he had a pretty terrible night. I don't think he'll get cut though, but you know, it is what it is, right? I mean, it is what it is. I also want to talk about our third round pick, Malcolm Koonce. This man right here, it looks like he's been off to a slow start so far. Um, his preseason so far hasn't been the best, but at the same time, I believe it was our defensive coordinator Gus Bradley that said that this is a guy that needs to fill into his frame a bit more. And honestly, I can see it. Okay. What I will say is that the first 3 quarters of last night, um, the first 3 quarters of last night I don't think that Koonce played well. I really don't. I saw him lose a lot of pass rushing reps, and I understand he's gonna lose, he's gonna win. But I saw Koonce lose a lot in the first 3 quarters. But what I really loved about Koonce was the fact that when Koonce got that hit on the quarterback in the fourth quarter, he started looking natural again. And that's what I like. And I understand sometimes it can just take a hit, for you to understand, okay, I'm here, let's go. And I like the fact that once Koonce got his hit in on the quarterback, he started to pick it up. I saw his pass rushing reps get quicker, even though he had just came out with a knee injury. I saw his pass rushing reps get quicker. I saw his hand movement get a little bit more violent. And I saw his overall movement. I saw him trying more moves. So I think for Koonce, what it was is that, yes, like Santi James just said, he gained confidence. He gained confidence off that hit. He understood, okay, I can do this. And then a little bit of weight got lifted off his shoulders, His fourth quarter, he played a very strong fourth quarter, as did Kendall Vickers. Kendall Vickers played very, very well in the fourth quarter. We had a couple guys that kind of shined, but man, Koonce in the fourth quarter played very, very good in my opinion. It looked like he just started getting more natural. It looked like he was getting back there again. But it did take him a bit. I hope that this same momentum he can take into next week. Because if I'm being honest, his pass rushing looked up to what our standards were in the fourth quarter. I like that about Koonce. Maybe he just needed to get his hit in, but honestly, Koonce is a guy who he can't play first and second downs. He just looks a little bit too weak for that. Unless Gus Bradley gives him or tells him and gives him the task that he needs to get bigger. But right now, Koonce, first 3 quarters of the game, being blunt, he looked bad. After he got his hit, he looked very, very well. He looked good. And I like to see that. And back to Kendall Vickers. Kendall Vickers played a great fourth quarter. I mean, it was pretty quiet for our 2 defensive tackles in the beginning of the game with Phylon and Solomon Thomas. Those 2 looked pretty quiet in the beginning. We saw Phylon get a majority of the double teams when he was next to Solomon Thomas. And I felt like that's a perfect time for Solomon Thomas to gain good pass rushing reps, but we didn't see either of them beat their guys in the beginning. But Darius Phylon did end up showing up in the game regardless. He blocked a field goal that, we only won by 1 point. If they make that field goal, they win the game, So that's a big play by Phylon right there. I just didn't see the same burst from him and Solomon Thomas this game off the line, but I did see is that Phylon definitely got a lot of double teams, and that's very, very good. That's a very underrated stat. When you're causing a double team, and you're leaving your other guys one-on-one, that's a very, very underrated stat that people don't look at. If you're eating up double teams, you're doing your job, man. You're doing your job. As long as you're allowing your guys on the outside to rush, that's all you can do, which is why I wish I would have saw Solomon Thomas, pop up a little bit more, but he didn't. I did see a couple plays, though. Phylon got completely just blown back on run plays. I'm not sure if he lost his footing, but it was tough. But, I think that Koonce definitely played well in the fourth quarter. The beginning was not the best. And let's see. Another thing I want to talk about now, we kind of spoke about it a little bit earlier, is the linebacker situation, right? We all know that Javin went down with an injury. We know that right now Nick Kwiatkowski's out for a little bit. Gruden did say that he should be back next week. And then we also know that Nicholas Morrow, we all know that Nicholas Morrow is out for a bit, right? So right now our linebacker situation is pretty thin, which is why I think that right now you need to be calling up KJ Wright. It's almost like a perfect match at this time, right? You lose a middle linebacker, you lose a linebacker at KJ Wright's position. KJ Wright knows the system. He's been with Gus Bradley. He's a veteran. Give him what he needs to come in. I think that you should do that. It should just bring in more of a veteran presence, and I like that kind of stuff, man. It kind of sucks that it had to come down this way, though. That an injury had to happen for us to probably take the initiative on that, but. Back to a situation, because I saw Vital say give shout out to Vital, said give us the projected 5 for this week's cut. I think he actually just said one of them right there. I think Keelan Doss, in my opinion, done for. I don't understand. He's Keelan Doss. I understand story is great, but Keelan Doss just doesn't have it, so I think Keelan Doss is a guy that should go. I think that Dallin Levitt is a guy that should go. Patrick Omame is the guy that should go. and Jared Jones-Smith. All those 4 guys. And if I have to say one more, I honestly don't know. But it kind of sucks, man. But it is what it is. Let me see. Shout out to Graf in the chat, man. Appreciate you. But yeah, I mean those guys. I think immediately out the door. Marcel Aitman had a good game, but I think that he still has things that he needs to work on. But good. Shout out to him for coming in when we needed him, man. But man, I really enjoyed yesterday's game. I really did. For a second, I was like, yo, I never seen a more one-sided tie game in my life. Like it was 10-10, and I felt like we were losing by 50. Cause man, Nathan Peterman he made a bunch of mistakes, and I've been trying to take this guy's name all the way into the end because I want to talk about this guy for a while. And 2 guys, Tanner Muse and Nate Hobbs. I'm gonna talk about Tanner Muse. Shout out to Raider 187. Tanner Muse, man. Tanner Muse, he's just continuing to show that 1, he's available. 2, he's good, man. He's good. Like he's solid. He got a sack against a quarterback that looked like was unsackable. So shout out to Tanner Muse, played a very solid game. He's fast, man. He has that real sideline to sideline speed, and I love it. And I'm so glad that you just brought up Amik while I was about to speak about Nate Hobbs. And reason being, right? Last year we drafted Amik Robertson out of Louisiana Tech, and Gunther said, okay, let's try and convert him due to his size. Let's try to convert him into a slot corner. Now, that makes sense. He's not the biggest, not the strongest, but he has heart. Maybe he can really, really fit in the slot. Now, what I feel like we failed to realize is the amount of tackling that you have to do, setting the edge that you have to do, and containing that you have to do for Amik Robertson, and he just wasn't suited for that. Now, what I really like about Amik Robertson is that he's been given the chance to play on the outside, and he's looked very, very good. And the thing about Nate Hobbs is that it's like he's excellent in the slot, and when he goes on the outside, he's kind of average. But when he's in the slot, he's amazing. Like he's great. Nate Hobbs can blitz. He can cause a fumble. He can go get interceptions. Like Nate Hobbs in the slot. There's no doubt in my mind that he won't play next week because to me, he's a week 1 starter. I mean, you got guys like Trayvon Mullen. Trayvon Mullen just completely just hyping the man up. And I'm really happy that Amik is getting his shot back on the outside, right? I'm really happy that he's getting his shot back on the outside because he looks natural out there, right? And this man, he got some hops, man. That play that they tested him 1-on-1, he completely just out jumped the defender. Got a nice tip on the ball. Pause, but I think that Amik on the outside continue to let him go there. I like how he looks, but going on to Nate Hobbs, I mean, man, I think we really have got ourselves our starting slot corner for years to come. I mean, Nate Hobbs, the man he's great. Like he's not great, but he's doing he's doing great. And in the presser after the game, you hear Gruden say that Hobbs has exceeded expectations, and we know the standards. That Gruden holds his players at, and if you're exceeding Gruden's expectations, you're doing something great. Like you're doing something really, really well. And I mean, this man, like there hasn't been something that Hobbs hasn't done, right? Hobbs has forced a fumble. Hobbs has gotten a sack. Hobbs has gotten a tackle for loss, and he's got an interception. Those are 2 games, right? That's in 2 games. And if we're being honest, Hobbs looks like he's, like I said this before, Hobbs has really looked and stood out as like he looks like a number 1 playing against number 2s and 3s out there, right? Like that's how much he stands out, and I love to see it. I love to see it. I mean, this is a guy that we got in the 4th round out of Illinois, and many of us didn't think like, okay, this guy's gonna be our slot. We thought, okay, we still have Amik and all this kind of stuff. But man, I just can't wait to see Nate Hobbs in the regular season lined up inside with the help on the outside of Casey Hayward and Mullen. Like, that's gonna be a strong cornerback group, and I'm very, very excited, man. And real quick to touch up on his interception. I was live with Graf when it happened. That was not Nate Hobbs' zone at all. He was playing his outside third, and he explained it in his presser. He was on the outside third, and he saw his guy drop down and not go deep. So he saw his guy drop down. He left his guy in the flats so that our outside linebacker can guard it. And just think about all the stuff that he's thinking about right there. Like, that takes a true football player to understand football and react this quick during the game. Like, that takes a true football player. He saw that his guy, his threat over the top, ran a short route into the flat. And he said, you know what? We have coverage down there. He saw the ball get released out of the quarterback's hands, runs into the free safety zone, into the deep third, and picks the ball off. One, before I say this, pause, the ball skills that interception took was very difficult. That the degree of difficulty on that interception was tough. He was running out of his zone into someone else's, looks up, jumps, kind of turns his body in the middle of the interception, and catches it. That is a great play. Now, this is a guy that we've seen enough. We've seen enough of. I don't want to see him until the regular season. Nate Hobbs, put him aside. Week 1 starter against the Ravens, stash him, put him away. Nate Hobbs, he's done. Like, he's what we need in the slot. We don't want to risk no injuries. I'm surprised that we still had him out on the field in the 4th quarter after what we just saw with the rest of our guys. Like, Nate Hobbs, this man gets a 10 out of 10 for me. And shout out to Rick Glenn for the donation. He says, Rasul Douglas looked pretty good too. Our cornerbacks are legit. Couldn't agree with you more. It was just, I mean, Rasul Douglas, he played a good game. Like, he played a very, very good game. Rasul Douglas, that first penalty that he had, that was ridiculous. I mean, he made a good play. He gets up off the ground and just tries to, shush the opposing team's sideline, and he gets flagged for it. That's ridiculous. That I can't believe that the NFL is allowing that to be a penalty, but I don't care. If that's a penalty, so be it. Rasul Douglas, I don't care. Rasul Douglas, go ahead and do it. You can be happy. Like, come on now. Like, that makes no sense. But then they tested him 3 plays in a row, and 3 plays in a row, he didn't let them get a yard. He didn't let them complete a pass. It was pass breakup after pass breakup, and then he laid a big hit on a tight end. And I mean, I like Rasul Douglas. Like I said, Rasul Douglas was a starter last year for the Panthers. For us to have amazing depth, to have a starter for the Panthers from last year as our 4th or 5th string corner right now, double thumbs up, man. Double thumbs up for what our office has been able to do, and been able to bring in players that's very, very good, man. I really like to see it. And shout out to everybody talking about our 2 centers. I want to talk about that now. Nick Martin and Jimmy Morrissey. Nick Martin looked bad. He played a bad game. Like, he played a very, very, very bad game. He kept getting just completely bull rushed into the face of Nathan Peterman. And the second that Jimmy Morrissey came in, our 7th round center out of Pitt, he looked great. Or, okay, maybe not great, but he looked good. Like, he looked comfortable. He never once got blown back into the face of our quarterback. Because of him, there was no runs that got stuffed in the backfield. I really like Jimmy Morrissey, if I'm going to be honest. Jimmy Morrissey is our backup center at this point. Probably not, though, just because Nick Martin, free agent, played a lot of football with the Texans. I in my opinion, how I should have said it is Jimmy Morrissey should be our 2nd center, and Nick Martin should be a swing guard / third string center, man. I can't wait. And shout out to Raider 187 says Stills and Koonce both have huge potential. Agreed, man. Agreed, man. I really agree with you. Koonce, like I said, after that hit that he got on the quarterback, after that sack that got called back, he looked confident. He built confidence, and he was feeding off that for the rest of the fourth quarter, and he looked like the Koonce that we thought we were going to see. The quarters before that, he looked poor. But that fourth quarter, after he got that sack that was called back, props to Koonce, man. He looked energized. He looked ready to go, and I loved it. He looked very well. He started doing different moves. He started having better hand movement. His hand work was very, very violent, and I loved it. But Stills, the second that Stills came in the game, I immediately saw more push on the defensive line. If you were to watch the game film, Stills' hands are relentless. He doesn't stop moving them. He does not stop doing this. He has 50 different freaking club moves, rip moves in his arsenal, man. He loves it. He loves it. I like Still, man. Stills is a beast. Stills is a beast. I hope he can make it onto the 53. Right now, it's not looking too likely. But you know, because we have other guys on the roster with bigger names. You guys know how I feel about certain players on the defensive line, man. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Let's see. My boy Joshua says, Andy, if something were to happen to Merrick, who's our backup, I'm nervous about that because Gillespie doesn't look ready. Gillespie, in my opinion, I've said this about safeties before. If you're playing free safety, the post safety role, and you're not putting good film out there and you're not putting bad film out there, that means that you're doing your job. And Gillespie doesn't have any bad film out there. He hasn't put bad film on tape. He hasn't. Gillespie has only put himself doing his job, covering the post and covering his assignment. He hasn't put bad film out there. So until Gillespie gets tested, you know, and then fails the test, then I will say that he's not ready. But right now, Gillespie hasn't put any bad film out there for me to say, okay, he's not ready. Just because he's not making plays doesn't mean he's not ready. Much like we saw with Merrick, right? Merrick wasn't making any plays in the preseason. He hasn't made any plays in the preseason. But the second he gets tested against the Rams in practice 2 days in a row, he totals up 3 interceptions. So until you get tested as a post safety and as the deep high safety, and then you start to put bad film out there, then that's when I'll say that he isn't ready. But at this point in time, I don't think that Gillespie is like, you know, a position that we should worry about. I do think that he's going to be a good backup to Merrick. If anything, if he's truly not ready, they'll probably put Carl Joseph out there. You know, shout out to Vitali says, I can't believe Martin played that bad against second strings. Yeah, it was tough, man. He really got bullied. You know, he really got bullied, man. He did. Shout out to Central Cali says, was popping, Andy, you think we should bring in a guy like KJ now that White went down? Spoke about this a little bit earlier. Short and sweet, yes. I think that KJ Wright needs to be one of the number one guys on our radar right now. After, you know, we just lose a guy of Javin White's caliber that he was playing at, you know. I think that KJ Wright definitely should be a guy that we should be looking into bringing in. So yes, I agree with you. Or yes. Let's see. I saw Farrell get stood up a couple times by their backup tackle. It happens. I mean, it is what it is. Let's see. No, but I think that Farrell, I mean, right now, the role he's getting pushed into, what's kind of interesting, right, is that at the beginning of each preseason game that we've had so far, it looks like Cleveland Farrell, Carl Nassib, Solomon Thomas, and Darius Feinlein get about 2 drives, right? They get about 2 or 3 drives. and then they get taken out for the rest of the game. The second, like, our defense looks very good for those first 2 or 3 drives. The second that group comes out, the second that the third team group comes in, mixed with the fourth teamers, it looks horrible. So I think that it's been fine. I think it's been fine. He's gotten a couple pressures. He's gotten sacks, or he's gotten a sack. It is what it is. I think he's played solid. Can Javin come back later? I heard. Wait. I heard there's hope since he came back out. Yes. So what I spoke about Javin White earlier was that when you completely tear your ACL, your team doesn't bring you back on the sideline with crutches. Like, your team doesn't bring you back on the sideline with crutches. They just they take you out. They take you to the hospital so you can get your MRI so that you can schedule your surgery, right? And what the Raiders did was that he was able to come back onto the sideline with the team, and he watched the rest of the game on crutches and with an ice pack on his knee, right? So best case scenario, it was a hyperextension. If it was just a hyperextension, he can be back as soon as like week 2, week 3 of the season. If it was a hyperextension with torn ligaments, it'll take him out for the season, just like the ACL would, but it wouldn't last. Like, the recovery wouldn't last as long as the ACL. It would be about 6 to 8 months. In ACL, we know, is about 10 to 12 months, if not longer. So best case scenario, we could see him back by week 2, week 3, which that's like very, very, very best case scenario. And then worst case scenario is that it is ACL, and then kind of in the middle is that he'll be ready for next season, man. That sucks, man. It really, really does suck. Hopefully it's not too bad. Agreed, Valerie. That sucks, man. So far, the tackling seems better. Not seeing as many whiffs and broken tackle, but still a few too many. I see a lot of jerseys in the play. Yeah. Talking about the missed tackles, one of the main reasons why last year we missed a lot of tackles was because we were in man coverage a lot, right? And when you're in man coverage, if you're not on your guy, right, you're kind of screwed off rip, because if you're not on your guy and then your guy gets away from you, you're gonna miss the tackle because everybody else is guarding their own man, so you don't have help. But when we're in the zone defense, it really allows you to team tackle, right? Because there's gonna be one person in the zone just waiting for the guy to go in their zone, and then they can all attack at once. Let's see. Is KJ Wright still good? Not much interest in this guy. No, KJ Wright was just ranked like 67th on the top 100. Granted, I wouldn't have gave him that high of a ranking, but yes, he's still very productive. The man has over like 230 tackles in the last 2 seasons. And he has about like 3 picks or 4 picks or something like that, and double-digit tackles for loss in the last 2 seasons. Yes. Well, cut Richard and Lawson. Go get Wright. Agreed. Yeah, I think that Jalen Richard, with how good our undrafted backs have been playing, Ragas yet again has another good game. Emmons has another good game. And I just feel like these guys have more juice right now than Jalen Richard, right? Jalen Richard is coming off of an injury. And right now, Ragas or Ragas and Emmons just have the juice right now, man. Andy, to watch the Raiders game from Germany is very tough. The game starts at 3:00 in the morning. Wow, damn. Says, what's good? Do you think they keep Nevin Lawson? No, I don't think he makes the 53-man roster, but I think that he doesn't get cut until the last set of roster cuts. I think he stays the full preseason, and then he doesn't get cut until the end. Let's see. So they still won't give Carr top 199 something? Yeah. It is what it is, bro. Corey Davis, the Jets wide receiver, got 91 on the top 100, and Derek Carr didn't. What? How? So you mean to tell me that Corey Davis was more of an impact player to his team than Carr was to us? Yeah. Fuck no. What do you think about Isaiah Johnson and Carl Joseph? Keep them. Isaiah Johnson, I've said this before, he's literally the prototypical style corner that Ron Miles and Gus Bradley love. Like over 6'1", 200 pounds, arm span, wingspan is like, I don't know his wingspan, but it's very, very big. And he runs a 4.4. Like, that's ridiculous. Dude, our guys were playing third stringers. Carr would show. Wait, what? I don't know. That confused me. Shout out to my boy Jeff. He says, "Ooh, Pennsylvania Raider. I see you, East Coast. Damn. So when you watched the game, it was 10:30 at night. Finished at about what? One in the morning. 1 in the morning. Do you think KJ Wright's price will go up now since he knows we need linebackers? Honestly, I don't think so. He can very much use that as a bargaining chip, though. He very much could. Because now he knows that his snap count is going to go through the roof. And if you're going to play more, you're going to want to get paid more. So he could definitely use it as a bargaining chip, but I think where he's at, his price is already a little too high. So he either can keep it there and get signed somewhere, or he can kind of put it up, you know? It is what it is. But I appreciate you with the donation, 110%. Herbert, 58. Yeah, bro, the top 100 has been horrible. It's been horrible. They put Jesse Bates in like 80th or something like that, bro. Jesse Bates is a top 40 player. Facts, J-Dog, bro. I said this yesterday. Trade Mariota and Peterman, bro. Give me the Rams backup quarterback, because Peterman has looked horrible. Mariota hasn't been able to get on the field. Bro, give me that Rams backup quarterback, bro. We couldn't get a sack to save our lives, bro. Like, man, that he looked nice. Granted, when the pressure was on the line, he did overthrow the fade route a little bit. It is what it is. Carr's our guy, best player to do it. Wait. Best year ever, top 100 boy. Yeah, hating on the Raiders, of course. And shout out to Davey R Beats with the donation. He says, "Do you know if the starters will play versus the Niners?" Honestly, that's what I thought. I thought that the starters were gonna play about a drive or two to get warmed up before the season. But with the amount of injuries that we've seen so far, I doubt it now. I really, really doubt it. I really, really doubt it. And I appreciate you for the donation. Now, this man right here, if there's one person that I can give credit to, all credit to, about Nate Hobbs, it's this man right here. I'm trying to tell you, the second we drafted Nate Hobbs, and I put up a video about it, and I did a live stream about it, he was the only person in the chat saying that Nate Hobbs is going to be great. Only person, not lying. He was saying all this before he even touched down in Vegas. This man right here, all the credit goes to Kenneth Bryant. He called this out, man. He called this out. He called it out. He did. I'm not even going to lie to you. He called it out. He said it. While I was on live, while in my comments, he said Nate Hobbs was going to be that dude. And Nate Hobbs has been that dude. He's been that dude. So shout out to you. Shout out to you, my boy. I'm glad that Nate Hobbs is proving you right now. I love it. Appreciate you, David. For real, I appreciate you. Let me see. Let's see. Pennsylvania Raider. Where in PA are you from? Scranton. Scranton. That's where the office is from. You feel me? Right. Let's see. They're going to put some respect on Carr after this season. Playoffs, 4,500, 35 TDs. Solid stat line right there, man. Solid stat line. And we have about 94 people in here right now. Please hit that like button, y'all. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Please do. Please do. Let's see. I feel like last night's ugliness was more of the individual performances that were bad. Omame, Cotton, yes. Let's see. Patrick Omame and Jared Jones, I think those two guys held up our defense. Held back our offense. It put those two guys, it's kind of the opposite, right? Last year, our defense was holding us back, man. Our offense was trying to do everything. Our offense was trying to hold on for dear life. Our defense this time in the preseason has been trying to hold on for dear life because Lester Cotton has been doing good. Patrick Omame and Jared Jones-Smith have been horrible. Let's see. Kenneth from the future, for real. I don't know where he went. This man didn't take a time machine and came back. Nah, Cotton has played well. Cotton has played well, in my opinion. Cotton has played well. Let me see. What's up, Nation? What's up, Andy? What's good with you? Yeah, I've been there before. Let's see. This team is cooking up something. Let's see. Way better than last year. Gruden knows it. He will not show his hand. We're going to kick ass this year. Most definitely. Do you see Koonce or Gillespie playing linebacker? I see Gillespie getting into certain formations where he's at linebacker, and same with Koonce. Man, Andy Dogs had me crying last night calling my dude edamame. That was graph. I wasn't doing that. I don't even know what edamame is. You going to the 49ers game? It's not the 49ers game. It's the Raider game against the 49ers. But yes, I'll be there. Most definitely. My next jersey is a 39 Hobbs. Do it. Hobbs won't disappoint you. Like Hobbs, man. Like this man has been. He's a baller, bro. Like Hobbs is a baller, bro. Shout out to my boy Ben Bad, man. Says Andy, how's the virus? Great job last night. No virus on the computer, or on the phone. So shout out to everybody who told me about the Dofu streams. I was able to watch it live off the antenna regardless, because here in Oakland they were showing it on channel 4, but I wanted to have like a backup plan if it were not to be here. But yes, no, definitely no viruses on my phone. So shout out to y'all who put me onto that. Appreciate it. But yes, been bad. No virus. And appreciate, man. I can't wait. Raiders versus Niners. Just like every single game. SoFi blacked out. Vegas, obviously, blacked out. Next one on the list, we're gonna go black out Santa Clara. Santa Clara is going to get blacked out, and I'm gonna be part of that. I'm gonna be blacking out that stadium. I'm gonna be wearing my DC jersey. I'm gonna be wearing my Raider bucket hat, so I don't get no sunburn on my neck. I'm gonna be part of that. I'm gonna be blacking out that stadium too, bro. Let's see. Nixon looks good in the GB system. Do you think he makes a roster? He's looked comfortable. I agree. He's looked a lot more comfortable. I think everybody is just gonna look a little bit better, except for Lawson. Lawson continues to suck. Like he continues to suck. Like he continues to suck. But everybody's looked better in the system. Teamer finally showed up, but probably won't make the team. You think we keep Richardson now that White and Morrow hurt? I think that we need to bring in somebody rather than keep Richardson. Yeah, I'd rather that. Did you guys hear how they were talking with Ramsay and the announcer said everyone made a big deal about Renfro's non-catch? I mean, Ramsay, whatever, bro. Like Ramsay, like, bro, like this man, he's whatever, bro. Whatever. I don't even want to talk about. Hey, let me know real quick. Is the quality of the stream right now, does it look a little bit better than usual? Like, does it look a little bit better? Because I'm doing it a different way right now. I'm doing it a different way. So let me know. If the quality of the stream looks a little bit better right now, let me know. Let me know. Ramsay's in denial. Facts. Facts. Ramsay's in denial. Let's go. Damn. I feel like it should look a little bit like better. The stream should look a little bit more better. Or yeah, better. Gotta get some KJ. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would love to bring in KJ, man. Crying Diva, Ramsay. It looks the same. Okay, bet. If it ain't looking better, it looks worse. If it ain't looking, I don't know what the hell I was gonna say, but it should look a little bit better. Should look a little bit better. Crystal clear, bet. Ramsay. Yeah, Ramsay's. Oh my god. Like, bro, we're trying to watch the Raider game, and they're over here putting like all the attention on Jalen Ramsay, like this man just did something. Meanwhile, Nate Hobbs is getting himself an interception. Said it best. Said it best. Ramsay is simply fooling himself. He's a great player, but not humble. Said it best. Like, he is a great player, but like he's just fooling himself. He's just fooling himself. What's good, Malik? What's good with you, my boy? Ramsay is great. No. He's great. He's great. Nate Hobbs is everywhere. Agreed. I think last night Nate Hobbs had the pick, tackle for loss, and I think he had a couple of like assisted tackles. He had a good game, man. He had a good game. It's more of a pride thing, yeah. But it is what it is. The stream changes according to what you're using. It's a little fuzzy on my TV, sharp on my phone. Oh, makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. Oh, because they got like different like qualities and pixels and stuff. Bet. Who you want at linebacker? If we're talking about bringing in somebody, I want KJ Wright or Reuben Foster. I want KJ Wright or Reuben Foster. Most definitely. One of those two. One of those two. Give me one of those two. Give me one of those two. Ramsay is Hunter's son now. Y'all are funny, dog. Y'all are funny. Y'all are funny, man. Hey, real quick. Because what I will say is, would Foster be cheaper? Foster's a middle linebacker, and yes, Reuben Foster would be cheaper. He's coming off of an injury. But yes, Foster would be a little bit cheaper. Exactly, it's perfect timing. That's a key to Talib and Ramsay being haters. We all know Talib hates us. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Perfect for a real thumper. Perfect will thump his way out of the NFL. I loved Perfect, man. I loved Perfect. I really did. But Perfect will thump his way out of the NFL, bro. He already has. He already has. Oh my god, man. Let's see. The first half was concerning. Agreed. It was just bad. But it was concerning not on our defense. It was Peterman. Peterman sucked. Honestly, I really hope that by next week, Mariota's fully healthy and ready to go, because I don't want to see another game of Nathan Peterman. I don't want to see another game of Nathan Peterman. Like, we're going into the season now. We've seen 2 games of Nathan Peterman. We've seen him go from good to back to Nathan Peterman, bro, because he was trash. Who would you pick as your wide receiver? As your wide receiver, the depth is deep. Well, honestly, I would rather keep DJ Turner over Keelan Doss. If I'm being honest, DJ Turner has looked very solid. If I'm being honest, once we put that second group offensive line out there, DJ Turner has been the only person that looks like he's playing with heart. If I'm being so real, DJ Turner's the only guy that looks like he's playing with heart. The only one on the offense once that third string offensive line goes in, man. That O-line looked bad like 77. Yeah, that offensive line was horrible. Patrick Omame, boom, out of there. DJ Turner, great. I like how DJ Turner played. Dylan Stoner hasn't showed anything. He's dropped a couple passes. So has Marcel Aitman. Thankfully, Marcel Aitman caught that touchdown. But man, it's tough. Hobbs, keep Hobbs out of the rest of the preseason. Please send him for the regular season. Yes, agreed. Like, we don't need to see no more of Nate Hobbs. If there is one person besides Yannick and Max that should be penciled in as a starter on defense, it should be Nate Hobbs. Nate Hobbs should be penciled in as a day one starter alongside Casey Hayward, Trayvon Mullen, and Max and Yannick. He needs to be penciled in right now. We don't need to see him no more. I don't want him to risk injury. I don't. That second pick was not on Peterman, though. Yes, I agree. Dawes, stop body catching. Agreed. I said it when it happened. You can't body catch, bro. You can't do that. But what I will say is that his pick against the Seahawks, that's completely his fault. That was completely his fault. He looked right at the wide open man in the flat and said, "I'm gonna throw it to DJ to Stoner," that was like in the middle of two people. Do you think we'll see Ruggs in the Niner game? No. I don't think that we're gonna see any starters, and I'm fine with that. I don't want to see any starters, man. We didn't lost too many from practices. I don't want to see anymore, man. Cut Lawson and Rashard used the money for signing KJ. Agreed. That's $4.2 million right there. If you cut those two and combine it, that's $4.2 million. I would give that right now to KJ Wright, man. I would give that right now to KJ Wright. I mean, tell me if I'm lying. Fuck a pencil, use a permanent marker. For real, bro. For real. And yes. Boom, boom, boom. Everybody right here, give me your last thoughts of the game before I cut this off, because we're already on here for about an hour already. Let's see. I love this right here. Chucky gave Hobbs a game ball, and he doesn't give out preseason game balls. What I loved about the presser at the end of the game with Nate Hobbs was how like humble and down to earth this guy is, right? This guy coming from Illinois, right? Comes in the day he gets drafted, says this is gonna be the greatest underdog you guys have ever drafted. He's only proved it. Now, when he said that he got the game ball, right? This dude immediately just, he like, it was just thanks to everybody that he's been around, and he got his first interception. Gruden gave him a game ball, and like you just said, that doesn't happen. Gruden doesn't do it. And I'm just really happy for Nate Hobbs, man. Like he's looked very, 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 very good. Like he's looked very good. Shout out to Richard C in the chat. He said, "What's up, man? He nothing much." I'm be on here for about 10 more minutes because I just saw that like 13 more people pulled up. Now we got over 100 people in here. So shout out to all y'all, man. Drop the like button right now. Hit that like button. I give us a C grade for last night. I think a C grade is very, very fair. I think a C grade is very, very fair for last night's performance. I think that's a fair grade. I think I would give our defense a C plus. I would give our offense a C minus. Peterman didn't look good. Offensive line looked horrible. DJ Turner looked great. Regis looked great. Edmonds looked great. Defensive line looked good. It looked okay, actually. Linebacking core looked good. Cornerback group looked good. Like, it's kind of weird, but our defense played better last night than our offense. Our line was just getting completely just torn up. We let a rookie get 1.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and a forced fumble in one drive. We let a rookie get 1.5 sacks, a forced fumble, and a tackle for loss all in one drive. Like, that's how bad our offensive line played last night. Like, that's ridiculous, man. Shout out to my boy Joey, man. He says defense top 15 this year. I can see it. Playoffs. I agree. I agree. I agree, bro. Wipe them feet for Andy. Raiders football talk. I appreciate you, my boy. I'd give KJ Wright 5.5 without hesitation. We are thin. 5.5 is tough for a 32-year-old, but at the same time, we gave $5 million to Solomon Thomas. So I would do it. I would do it. I would do it. Let's be so honest, bro. Our money management hasn't been the best, you know. And it kind of sucks, man, because as much as I critiqued Solomon Thomas so much, I genuinely did want him to prove me wrong. Like, as much as I critiqued him so much, I wanted him to prove me wrong because I want our defense to do good. But, like, we haven't put him at defensive end once. And we've only played him at his natural position at 3 technique, and he hasn't done anything. Like, it sucks, man. It sucks. You know, right now I would much rather have given $5 million to KJ Wright than Solomon Thomas, but it is what it is, man. We can still make $5 million elsewhere and have them both on the roster. We can cut Richard, cut Lawson, and cut a couple practice squad guys, and we can make $5 million for them. But man, it's tough, man. It's tough. KJ wants a multi-year deal. I'd give him a 2-year deal. I'd give him a 2-year deal. Last game was good, but sloppy. Agreed. That last drive where they really just started driving on us at the end of the game, a lot of it was just because either our defensive line didn't get no pressure, or they were just picking on Dallin Levitt. Like, they were just picking on Levitt. It was tough, man. We better have Morrow and Nick back before week 1. We'll for sure have Nick Wachowski back. We'll probably not have Nicholas Morrow. Nicholas Morrow's his like recovery period might take him into week 1 or week 2 of the regular season. Was good, Andy. Was good with you. 207. Yeah, that's what I. Yo, the president was on TV. I shut his ass off to talk football. Hell yeah, man. Football is everything. Football is everything. Let's see. Yeah, no. It's looking like Nicholas Morrow won't be back until about week 1 or week 2. And if he is healthy by week 1, he probably won't play a lot. Or he won't play at all, even if he is healthy. They probably won't rush him into it. But Nick Wachowski should be ready by next week. How many wide receivers are we keeping? And who do you think they are? We got guys like Brown, Snead. Yes. Okay. So I think that our wide receivers that won't make the roster are the last 3 that you mentioned, Aitman, Dawson, Stoner. I think those guys won't make the roster. I think you add DJ Turner because he can return kicks, and he's looked very good in the preseason. His route running has looked good. He's been getting open. He's been making plays. He even had a big play on a punt return yesterday. I think that your depth receivers should be Willie Snead, Zay Jones, DJ Turner, and John Brown. So let's say that you keep 7 receivers on the roster, and that's Hunter Renfrow, Ruggs. So it's Hunter Renfrow, Ruggs, Edwards, Zay Jones, John Brown, Willie Snead, and DJ Turner. That's 7 guys. I think that you let go of the last 3 that you mentioned there with Dylan Stoner, Doss, and Aitman. Doss hasn't looked good. Aitman has been better, but I think he's still just going to be on the practice squad. And Dylan Stoner he hasn't done anything. Like, he hasn't done anything. Like, it sucks. It sucks, man. DJ Turner was playing like he wants to make the team. I believe that he deserves that opportunity, without a doubt. I believe that he deserves to make that. I believe that he deserves that opportunity. I do. The PUP list, the physically unable to perform list. I think we don't have many people on there anymore. after we activated Diablo and Isaiah Johnson. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But we've been on here for a little bit over an hour, Raider Nation. I am going to jump off. I had a lot of fun watching that game last night with my boy Graf. I had a lot of fun today with the recap. I enjoyed it a lot. And let me know, man. Let me know what you guys want to see in the future. I will be at the 49ers game and versus the Raiders game. I'm not sure. I'm gonna for sure get like clips of me in the stadium for sure. But what I'm thinking of doing is I think X said that he was gonna go, so I might try and meet up with my boy X. And I know that my boy Jesse, that's always in the chat, said that he's going. So I'll probably try and go say what's up to those two out there, man. Most definitely. And before we head out, shout out to my boy Joey. He says, "Yo, where's a good deal to buy jerseys? Might cop one week 1 at the stadium. What you think? Depending on where you're at, because I know that some jerseys could be like 220, 160, depending on who you get and stuff like that. But I know that in over there in Sacramento, close to where I'm at, there's like they got like Darren Waller jerseys, Josh Jacobs jerseys for like 130, but you have to go in store to get it, which isn't bad. 130 for a Josh Jacobs or a Darren Waller jersey isn't bad. But yeah, it depends. It depends. And shout out to Danny Garcia, man. I really appreciate you with the donation, with the super sticker. I appreciate you very, very much. But that'll wrap it up for tonight. For today, it's the evening. It's not the night. But yes, I'm gonna for sure go live again tomorrow because I was able to get tomorrow off after working about 12 days in a row at work. So I was able to get today and tomorrow off. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Most definitely be live tomorrow. And I don't know if Graf might do another live today, then I might go on there with him. But who knows, Raider Nation, I appreciate y'all for coming through. We won 2-0 in the preseason. I'm so excited. We got to finish out 3-0. I can't wait. I cannot wait. We got to finish it out. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Raider Nation for life. We out of here, y'all.